Alright, so for Gerber Out, first thing we're going to do is do a quick DRC just to make sure all our sources are okay. We don't want to export anything bad. The only error I have is a solder bridge because the pads are too close, which is on purpose. Next thing we're going to do is do a project revision. So we'll do a releaser. You can notice I don't have any of the fabrication or assembly data because we don't do any of that stuff. We just take it and send it to GLC. Reason I want to do a revision is just because whenever we order boards, it's easy to forget which commit we do it on. So doing a revision helps us do that, or a release. It's just a nice feature that we get for using Git. So might as well utilize it. It also helps so that we don't have to make multiple project directories with R1, etc. So now we'll just release this. Call this revision 1. So let this release. So all around a little bit cleaner to use these revisions. If we have project and job set up, we can make it so on revision or release, we get all the output files, but we don't have that set up currently. Now to get the data, we go to File, Fabrication Outputs. So we're going to be looking for two things here, Gerber files and NC drill files. NC drill files deal with all the different holes for the CNC to drill. It's a little bit more accurate, and then Gerber files is everything else. So we'll start with Gerber files. This is where we get to choose what we want to export. So this is what I have open default, but we can add a bunch of different things. So we want to make sure we have our copper layers, our silk screen, solder mask, paste mask. This is obviously like all the metal. This is the white text. This is where we have solder mask. And then if we ever want to use solder paste, this is helpful for making stencils. As for mechanical layers, I usually just include board, but you can choose to add different things. So for example, if we're getting our boards manufactured and we're going to get polymerics, we need to include top coating and bottom coating. If we have any staking or conformal coating. If we want to do automated assembly and fabrication, we might need component centers and top designators. Since we're not doing any of that and we're only doing manufacturing by ourselves, this is fine. For other layers, I like to include all of these. So top pad master and bottom pad master are legacy versions of showing pads. We now just use a combination of paste and solder and copper, but I like to include it anyways. Keep out layers are also somewhat important. And then drill drawings and drill guide, we don't have to worry about that since we're doing that in NC drill. And then we'll just apply and export. It's going to create this Camtasia file. All you have to do is save, don't worry too much about it. And now we'll make the NC drill file. So all this stuff, it matters if we're using manufacturers that will take a look at this stuff, but in our case, it doesn't matter too much. So we're not giving PCB drawings, and when we give it to JLC or any other cheap board manufacturer, they're just going to go by their own capabilities. So we don't have to worry too much about this. Once again, it's going to create a Camtasia file. Just save it and don't worry about it. This is good if you want to edit things in post, but we try to keep a good link. So after that, we can just save the server, so we have all the Camtasia files there, and then all of our files are correct, so we can open up and find this inside File Explorer. Alright, so what we're going to be looking at is this one, Project Outputs. This has everything that we need. I have an old revision here. Just delete that real quick. So now we can just zip this up, and then we can share this inside any Gerber Out directory whenever we want to order ports.